Hi. Okay, so I just found the correlation for this data, which again I made up. Um, I calculated this. Now I've established that there is a relationship between these two variables, and I want to find the linear regression, which is expressed by this equation here, y equals a plus bx. In order to find y equals a plus bx, I need to find a and b. So I'm going to start with b, which looks like this. So I start with my data, just my basic x and y, independent variables. And then I'm going to find the mean of these two columns. And I just went ahead and used the function in Excel to find the average. Now that I have these means, I want to subtract them from each x value and each y value. Everything that you're going to need for this and to find the intercept a, I put in green, also so that I could follow along. But, okay, here we go. So, 19 minus 16.8 equals 2.2. You could do that manually like I did here, where I just put in the values. 19 minus 16.8 equals 2.2. Or you can select the cells, 15 minus 16.8, and that comes out to negative 1.8. And then for each y value, subtract its mean as well. So we're going to do, for example, 8 minus 7.2. 8 minus 7.2 equals 0.8, and so on for each y value. Then you're going to want to add these two columns, x minus the mean of x times y minus the mean of y, and x minus the mean of x squared. So you're going to just multiply these guys. 2.2 times 0.8, which 2.2 times 0.8 comes out to 1.76. And again, you can do that manually like I did, or you can select the cells that you need, 1 and 2. And then for each of those, do that. Now, for the x minus x mean squared, you're just going to take this value and square it. So 2.2 squared is 4.84. Negative 1.8 squared is 3.24, and so on and so on. Okay, and once you have these values, just add them up, auto sum, 4.2 and 20.8. Now we can just plug these into the equation. The sum of x minus the mean of x times y minus the mean of y, that sum is right here in purple. So 4.2. And then the sum of x minus the mean of x squared, that value is also right here for us in orange, 20.8. So 4.2 over 20.8 comes out to about 0.202. So that means for every year a person ages, the number of hours spent sleeping will increase by about 0.202. Okay. From there, it's easier to calculate a, the intercept, because we could just do a equals the mean of y minus b times the mean of x. So I put those in blue and yellow. Now, it's right here, 7.2, the mean of y, in blue, minus 0.202, which is what we found for b, times 16.8, which is the mean of x. So 0.202 times 16.8 equals 3.3936. And 7.2 minus 3.3936 comes out to 3.8064. And that's our intercept. So now we have A and B. We can figure out the linear regression, or the equation for it. Y equals A plus BX again. So now we have A, which we found was 3.806. I rounded to 3 decimal places. And then B, which is 0.202, again 3 decimal places, times X. So for example, if someone is about 20 years old, they can estimate how much sleep they get based on this equation. Plug the age into the equation and just solve for Y. So if X equals 20, we're going to put it right here. 3.806 plus 0.202 times 20. And 0.202 times 20 is 4.04 plus 3.806 equals 7.846. So we can estimate that a 20-year-old will get about 7.8 hours of sleep every night. And then remember, you could check your intercept using the functions in Microsoft Excel. Intercept, known y's, known x's. So I'm sure that has to do with rounding, what that should do. Okay, and then for this one, it's slope. So slope, known y's, in principle, known x's, 0.202. Okay, so that is how you calculate your regression equation and figure out your linear regression in Microsoft Excel. Thank you, and bye.